All right, so this is our first interview with a subscriber to a Stock Alert service. This is a brand new series that I think we're going to do from now on. I think we're starting with Marion, and you guys will probably know her from Discord. And she's been trading for probably about 9 months. That's about right. About 9 months now.
Yep.
So I thought it'd be good just to start with you, mainly because there's a lot of guys that, have spoken to you in the Discord and our Discord and in the StockGeeks Discord. And I think it's always cool to get to, hear people's voices and get to know them on a deeper level. So
Awesome. Put a face to the
yeah, well,
typing,
yeah, at least
a voice.
at least a voice to the name, and yeah, especially with all this online trading and stuff, these communities, it's something I want to go towards a bit more with our Discord, is to try and get more voice chat going and video sessions and this kind of stuff to get that kind of community going. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
think it's a great idea.
yeah, yeah. So I've been really lucky to have you as a co-moderator and admin of the Discord group. It's been pretty awesome to have you helping out. I don't think I could have started this without you. So
Well, thank.
yeah.
I
So
appreciate it. Enjoy being there. So I think it's been really good.
yeah. So yeah, let's get started. So I know a bit about you, and we've been talking for months now online, but this is the first time we really sat down and had a chat. So can you just tell me a little bit about your background, like where you don't have to give me your address, but where you live roughly, how long you've been trading, that kind of thing, just to get us up to speed on that.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Long Island or on Long Island in New York. I'm a occupational therapist, so I've been doing that for over 10 years. I've done a lot in the field. I work in home care with medically fragile children. I work with geriatric patients in nursing homes. I've worked in schools. I've done a lot, and I enjoy moving around. But with everything going on, it's difficult to work. First of all, COVID was in all the
Right.
nursing homes and got pretty dangerous. But being that I'm per diem, they also don't really need me as much because patients aren't wanting to go to the hospital. They're not getting surgeries. They certainly don't want to go to a nursing home. These kids that I work with are very sick, so their parents didn't necessarily want people coming in from the outside. So I
Right.
found myself going from working too much to suddenly not having work pretty
Right.
much at all, and also being scared to go to work.
Right. Yeah.
So, I
That's
have two
scary. Yeah.
kids. It is. It's
Yeah.
a lot. All my coworkers got it. A couple people died.
Jeez.
Multiple places, more than 50 patients,
That's
had died from it as
insane.
well.
Wow.
It got ugly really quick. And I also didn't want to go into, like, if a little kid has cancer and they're on chemo, I didn't want to go in their home and risk being a person to expose them to it.
Right.
So, things changed, and they changed really quickly, but I was really used to keeping busy and learning, because each new field that I go into or new case that I take, they're all a little bit different. So
Mm.
I very quickly
Yeah.
found myself bored. I was only around the kids. I didn't really have any adults to interact with, and I didn't really know what to do with myself. And just from like talking about it with some coworkers and my husband, I started becoming interested in, trading. And
Yeah.
I just opened Robinhood, and all I could think of was, here's this line, and I want it to go up. And I see that the 52-week high is posted here and low. And I saw in March everything was low. So that was my only
That was your guidance.
thought process.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
like everything is down. I guess I'll buy it
Yeah.
now
Right.
and hope it goes up.
Right. Bargain hunting, the typical buy.
Yeah.
You always get told, right? Buy low, sell high, and then so that's
Yeah,
what you're
made
looking
perfect
for.
sense, right? I'm like, everything crashed. Like, this should
Yeah.
be, in theory, a great time to start buying stuff. So I stuck with stuff that I knew. I got, Starbucks. I wear a lot of clothes from Guess, so I bought that. Um, just stuff like that, like stuff that I had heard of, or I got GameStop and GE, and I actually did okay, but I only had a handful of shares, and some of them were priced more. So, if I had 30 of Starbucks, which was at like 70, I think I sold at like 88, and
Right.
I was getting little gains, and
That's cool.
for the most part it was working out. But then I started seeing, like, okay, wait a minute. This is telling me that there's stocks that are moving 100% in a day. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
what's that?
Suddenly it's the penny stock world taking over you,
It
taking
did.
you
It
to the
just the
dark
little
side.
bug. Yes, the
Yeah.
bug bit me, and then that
Yeah.
like was it.
You started to
Somehow,
say,
Jason,
mhm.
Raging Bull, I got some cheddar streaming
I wonder how that
video
happened.
somewhere.
Yeah, could it be the huge marketing efforts they make? Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
lured into
that's
the web. Yeah.
it actually like went full circle from just hearing about Monday Movers. Of course, I compulsively started Googling stuff.
Yep.
I found your review on it,
All right.
and I was like, oh, this guy has a fun voice. I could listen to this video.
Okay, so you found a YouTube video on the article, or I guess like you're embedded in
Yep,
there.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
all
I
right.
read the article first, and then I saw that you had a Facebook group
Yeah,
also
and that's where we
from
met. Yep.
watching the YouTube video. So that landed me on your page. Um,
That's how I
I,
got
I
you
had
into
no
the
idea
web.
about. That's how I got into the web. Dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Yeah. The deep, evil, dark web. Yep. Yep.
The beautiful, dark, evil swamp
Yeah.
web.
The swamp. Yeah. That's the best word for it. The swamp. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So you made
So
it into the
yeah, that's
Facebook group and then,
I did, and then then alert services really came to my awareness, and I was like, okay, well, this helps because I clearly have no idea what I'm doing, but I want to know what I'm doing. And then there's all these people who are so open to helping me and each other. Um, so I learned pretty quickly that I knew nothing and that there was a lot to learn. But if I, first of all, tried myself, but also found people who were open to helping me, that I would be able to maybe do something with it.
cool.
I think somebody shared maybe X trades in there.
Oh yeah, X-Trades, right. I remember. Yeah.
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 So that's
So
how
I
I
mean, that
found
was
what
Discord, right?
Discord was.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause I didn't know what it was until then either. So did you go into Discord? Sorry, into X-Trades on Discord? And is that like
I
the first
did, and
one?
yeah, that was my first one, and I thought I was talking to robots half the time.
Yeah, it's
They were
horrendous.
DMing me. It was
Uh,
very nothing bad, but it wasn't for me because I tried to ask a couple questions, and I was just lost in the sea of thousands of people, and that was when ships and tops was like pump and dump. So
mhm.
everybody was just rocketing and yelling ships and tops, and I was like, this
Yeah.
I'm not getting what I need here to
Right.
help.
Right. Right.
And that's when I think I just searched Facebook for like different stock discords, and then I found StockGeeks.
Cool. So yeah, that's so you came across like their official Facebook group or
I
page or
did.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So did you come across any other ones, or was that kind of the first one that you kind of found, or because there's millions of these things, right? These Discord groups are springing up. I
I
mean,
did because as soon as I joined X Trades, I
yeah,
was getting spam my DM from like a bunch of other ones.
yeah, right. Is that
But
a
nothing that I
marketing
was interested
tactic?
in. Anyway,
A marketing
it did.
tactic our Discord should use.
We should just start spamming
Yeah,
people.
spam bots that go into all these Discord rooms. Yeah. So yeah,
Goals.
yeah. So you joined StockGeeks on like a free trial, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even make it 3 days. I had 3 days available to me. I was there one day and I just immediately signed up to pay.
Awesome, yeah. And I remember when you first did that, or at least you started talking about it in the Facebook group, that it sounded really great because you were getting so much help on like a one-to-one like basis. Like you were showing me
Yeah.
some of the stuff that they were helping you with, and that's something that I've really not seen in any other paid stock service.
Yeah.
And then given the low cost as well, it was just like, wow,
Yeah, it's only $19.99. I'm like, this is like free.
yeah, yeah. It's compared to what you'd pay with these big Raging Bull services or whatnot.
Exactly. I was
Yeah,
comparing it mentally to like that, where I didn't have access to a person who was going to respond to me if I didn't understand the alert. Or when I first went in there, I was like, wait, do I buy now? Do I sell now? Like I didn't understand anything, and I
yeah.
had someone to answer me
Mhm.
pretty much immediately.
Yeah, that's a huge help. I mean, that makes total difference, right? I mean, just from getting an email that says buy this, it's just
It,
that really helps.
it does, because you're not just stuck alone. And
Right.
if things go, you're not just wondering, should I average down? Should I cut my losses? Like
Right.
There's
Yeah.
no one.
Mhm. Yeah, it's for sure. Like I've been in a lot of these premium chat rooms that have thousands and thousands of members from all these famous types of people, and they still don't answer you. Like you can't ask if should I average down. They just tell you to go and read the rules, or like
Yeah.
there's like I've never been in one. But to be honest, I haven't been in a lot of these chat rooms for a few years before Discord was even like a thing.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one of the good things, and hopefully we can provide something similar in our own Discord. But so
I mean, I
yeah,
think so. We have a lot of different strength personalities, different strength traders, and a
yeah,
lot of people who are very open to help. So I think that's
yeah,
what attracted
definitely.
me to them most. So I think that it's a good trait to have, just to be open and helpful and provide what you can to help people.
Cool. So since you joined, so I've joined this StockGeeks as well, but I really haven't had
Mhm.
time to check it out that much. But I've been in a bit, so I see that they do alerts. It seems like there's a couple of guys in there, Jose and Zero. It's,
Yeah,
it,
Diego does the options,
okay,
and Jose does like the penny stocks and day trades and swing trades.
cool. And what do you follow usually? I'm guessing the stock stuff, not the options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like I still pay attention to the option stuff because once like mobile closer started happening, I started paying attention to that. Then I actually understood like maybe
Uh-huh.
10% of what's going on. So I do like check it out,
Hmm.
but I don't think I've taken any option trades from in there.
Right. And so how? So it's like it's not really like our sort of Discord, right? It's more official. Like I'm buying this, at such and such. Kind of more official alerts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's what
it's
I
like a
figured.
paid alert service.
Right. Right. And
They
I
have a
think
free area
uh-huh,
that two of the VIP members that have been there for a while
yeah.
have started, alerting what they're looking at, and they're doing really good. A bunch of people, like one guy I know made I think like $5,600 on shorting, not shorting, doing puts on what was it, FSLY, FLSY.
Oh yeah. Was that today?
A
I
bunch
was.
of them,
Yeah.
they did it like a week or two ago before it
Oh yeah.
crashed, and a bunch of them
Okay.
made like a couple thousand.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
they were everyone, and that was all in the free area.
Hmm. Well, that'll definitely get people to pay and become a premium member, right? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
good way to do things. So, do you follow their alerts, like, or do you just kind of do your own research and then ask them what their thoughts are? What's
Mm,
your kind of tactics with Stock Geeks?
I do. I see what Jose puts, and then I look at it, and if I'm a little bit weary or I'm not fully understanding, what he's saying, like an entry price, because he doesn't put like buy here, sell here. He'll
Right.
kind of tell you what to look for in like the chart or the pattern or the time frame. He talks about momentum and the FSTO indicator and
Yeah.
K crossing over D. So he'll tell
Yeah.
you this is the potential, but try to get in on each 1 minute dip or wait until when 5 minute resets, then enter.
It's really, really awesome because I remember when you went through this kind of transformation where you're like, oh, what's this green line on Robinhood? And then the
Yeah.
next thing you were on Facebook posting, K is crossing over D and the heat is rising up against the
Dun dun
RSI and stuff.
dun.
Yeah. And I remember thinking,
Yeah,
wow, what's happened to her? She's like learned all this
I
stuff.
know.
So I guess that's what really piqued my interest about Stock Geeks because it was clear you'd learned so much and come like,
So
yeah.
much.
So I think that
So
was,
much. I mean, that's like part of his goal is to not just, he's like, I want everyone to be able to do it on their own. Like, if I'm not here literally every day, I basically am. But if there's a time I'm not, I don't want you to feel like you can't do anything. So if
right.
you ask, like, his alert will be worded, differently than what you're used to, but he'll clarify as soon as you ask. So it's not
Okay.
like he's not there to actually give you exact entry points, but his goal is to help you learn to see it on your own. So at first I
Right.
was very overwhelmed, but I saw it working so well. I'm like,
Yeah.
obviously there's something to this because they're all doing exactly, for the most part, what he's anticipating.
Right.
So I wanted to know how to anticipate that as
Yeah.
well, or at least become more familiar with it.
Yeah.
So that's when they answered. Remember that like 30 question PDF
Oh yeah.
of
Yeah.
questions I came up with?
Yeah.
I really wanted to know. And like, who really does that? Like, some
It's
girl just
crazy.
joins,
Yeah.
asks a bunch of questions, and then sends you a list of 28 questions. And they took the time. They went through, they answered everything. like I said, they made it a nice organized PDF. It helped me and it helped a lot of people. So there's no lack of them wanting to
That's
help
awesome.
and to share the knowledge.
Yeah, that's really good. And it's usual stock trading chat room stuff with like, well, not sub penny, but penny stocks in the sort of $1 to $10 range, sometimes a bit more, I'm guessing. That's kind of
Yeah, I would
yeah.
say, if something like I know when I forget what Snapchat, it was a little bit high. When
Hmm.
there's ones like that you really can't ignore because they're doing so good,
Yeah.
he'll still alert them. But if I were to guess, I would say like 70% of them are under $5.
Okay. Yeah. And momentum day trading or swing trading mainly, or what would
Well,
you say?
both.
Bit both, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he every Sunday he puts up a detailed list of swing trades for the week. Those he actually gives more specific, like exact amounts of when to get in.
Yeah.
Um, and then every day, just as the opportunities come up, he'll, put it in the day trade channels for the alerts. And then even at
Fantastic.
the end of the day, if something's setting up for a swing, he has a channel that's swinging until tomorrow.
That's cool. Yeah.
So
So you've clearly become an independent trader just from being in that room, from what I've seen. I mean, the other day, I think it was AIHS or something, you were finding it pre-market, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, I don't know, like that's kind of weird. And then, you were right. It like doubled in the space of a day or two. Um,
there's a bunch of them that have been doing that recently, but I think I know more what to look for just from looking at them a lot and then having help even from you and everyone else in Discord. Like,
yeah.
looking at the level 2 more. Like I just, it takes me a little bit longer because I'm from a healthcare background. I've never been good at numbers,
Yeah.
but you guys have all helped me
That's
pay
good.
attention to what to look at to help me understand or anticipate somewhat, what could happen.
Yeah, it's great. And so yeah, I mean it's just so good to see somebody that comes into trading and then they just kind of learn the stuff, and then you still follow the alerts that he issues though, right? Or do you are
Oh yeah, all the
yeah,
time.
so you still, yeah.
Yeah.
Any memorable alerts that you're like, wow, that was a beast, like anything that you've done where you're like, this guy really knows what he's doing, like a big winner, or anything
I'm
like.
trying to I had one when I was still technically using Robinhood. I was using both.
Mm,
And I got like $700 on it. I just can't think of which one it was. I know I did really good with PRPO.
okay. Yeah.
Um, I think of
Yeah.
the bigger ones. I did good with OPTT.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, sounds good. And I guess the big question I have for you now, though, is overall, would you say you've been fairly profitable, or is it more of the education that's really benefited you? I know you're a very new trader, and it's not like, you know, you're going to be making millions of dollars in your first year, but if you haven't lost your entire account, that's a huge success in this market and as a new trader. So,
Yeah.
um,
So
yeah.
I I think yes, it sucks because I buried myself in CIDM all
Right,
on
right.
my own
Yeah,
before I was getting any help.
right.
So,
So
right
discarding
now
that, yeah. Just forget that even
yeah.
exists. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm down 3,800 in CIDM and I was down almost 1,200 in YVR also on my own. But today I got YVR back
Oh,
after
that was
months.
that one.
That
Great.
I know, I
Yeah.
was so happy. I heard it on Squawk and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did he just say YVR?
You're
So
like, oh
anyway, if
yeah.
you take
Hmm.
away my losses
Yeah.
from CIDM, then I would be 1450. I'd be up about almost 2,000
And what did you start with
from
roughly? What sort of percentage is that? Like 10% or 20%? Or just roughly. I
um
mean, rough ballpark. Yeah.
maybe you could help. So I'm not that good at math. I
All
had
right.
about, I think I put in 17 and I have 14, but I'm down
Okay. Yeah.
38 and a
All right.
half. So
So
that's like
It's about 10% though if you don't include the crazy losses that you took before you joined like StockGeeks, you know,
Okay.
or
Okay.
started really. So, because that'd be like me buying Amazon or something before I started trading and
Yeah.
then counting that. It doesn't, yeah,
And then, you know, also Neo was on my own and a mistake, and that cost me 1,200 last week. So
yeah,
I was doing even better. I had 16,000 last week, and now I have 14.
yeah.
But I
So,
think by technicality, then yeah, as long as you don't count those are my own
yeah,
mistakes.
that seems fair. That seems fair to me because this is really about these stock alert services. And since you joined StockGeeks, you've been making money. And given that most of these guys and, you know, even these professionals are either breaking even or losing money, I think it's a really good,
What's good
you know,
too is like when things have gone wrong, I've gotten out so quick. I'll only be down like $1, $5, $10 because as it's happening, he can recognize the fade, you know, way
yeah,
before I can.
yeah.
So he'll tell us to just get out. He'll help us get out and not be buried.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really good. And is there any other features on StockGeeks that, apart from the alerts and what I'm guessing they do watch lists a lot, they
Yeah.
probably do like webinars here and there, or kind of like some sort of
Yeah.
live trainings. Are those pretty useful for you
Yeah.
as well? Yeah.
So you can do a paid one-on-one with any of the mentors, which I
Yeah.
did with Jose, and you know, it was amazing. He was so thorough. He went through everything I wanted to know. He showed me charts and explained everything. I didn't feel rushed. I didn't feel like I was asking the bad questions. It was a very casual, comfortable conversation. And I took a lot out of it, especially because I did it maybe within, if I were to guess, the first 2 or 3 weeks I was there. But for free, with I paid for that, but it's only I think 50.
Hmm.
Um, every week, sometimes 2 times a week, he does uh like a voice chat on Discord,
Hmm.
and anyone can ask him any questions you want, and he pretty much will go over the tickers and the plan and what he saw
Yeah.
and why he alerted it, and then we kind of just recap of how it went, why it went that way. He'll, put all the horizontal lines and show us like where the FSTO is crossing,
Yeah.
how it, either come up or down from VWAP. So he goes through everything. And even during those, if someone is new there and they ask about something totally off topic or random, he'll still pull up a chart right then and there, go through it with them, help them decide if they should stay in or get out. So it's a minimum once a week he does that,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
sometimes 2 times a week.
Cool. And is there a lot of educational resources like kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, so like on a different channel that you can just go in and there's tons of
Yep.
stuff. Okay, good. So
Not as much videos,
mhm,
but lots like going over all different, candle patterns and chart patterns and
very
the
cool.
simple stuff like abbreviations and um there's a lot in there.
It sounds great, and I mean, I know a few other people from the Facebook group on your recommendation joined and seemed to love it as well. Do you know if they're
Yeah, there's a
still
bunch of
going
us
on?
in there.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
good. Oh, that's good. It's always a good sign when people stick around, right? Especially if it's like a month to
Yeah.
month type thing, and that's really cool. And um, so what do you know about Jose? So I don't know much about him. There's not much available online. I'm gonna send him an email after we've finished this and
Yeah.
say hello and tell him that we're doing this interview. But um, how much do you know about Jose? I know
Um
is he?
I know he's 21, he's young. I want to say he's been trading for 3 years.
Hmm.
He's in Texas, I
Oh, is he?
think.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he has 2 young daughters, and he does this full time now.
Great. So kind of like a prodigy almost, because he,
I
he
know.
does come across that way. I have to admit, from what I've seen, like the
Yeah,
amount of detail and like um, the
even the
technical.
multitasking.
Mhm, yeah. So I've been quite impressed with what I've the small parts that I've seen with that. So well, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's amazing what sort of stuff's going on that people haven't heard of yet. Like StockGeeks is, sounds better than some of the other big services, but hasn't really, taken off to that level, or maybe that's not their goals yet. But to be honest, it seems like it'd be better keeping it fairly small, because you get that quality one-on-one mentorship
Yeah.
almost. Like, you imagine if there was 100,000 people in there, it's just not gonna be like
No, I
that.
would
So,
cry.
yeah, no, it'd be a
I'd be
night.
like, but wait, don't forget about me. But I honestly, I feel like they would just maybe vet out like different people to help mentor. Like I imagine they would come up with some kind of plan, because it's, to all of them, to Bobby, who's 0, and Jose and Diego, like what's most important to them is obviously the education, but also helping whoever needs help in any way. So they don't like push off the responsibility or not be responsive. So even if it got bigger,
Yeah.
I really feel like they would find a way to try to,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
manage that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure just hire people to do some of the stuff that is not so fun and doesn't require as much
Yeah,
skill as for trading. They can do that. Yeah,
exactly.
it sounds really good. I should really go in more often and say hello and get
Yeah,
integrated with
come
that
say
community.
hi.
Yeah, because yeah, it sounds fantastic. And I guess the final few questions I have for you are more about where are you going with your trading. So you mentioned that you aren't working as much because of COVID and this kind of stuff that's just never ending. Like there's just no end to that from what I
Yeah,
can see. So you've got more free time. You're trading a lot. I know you're in our Discord like a ton. Um,
yeah.
is the plan to transition to full time trading and make a full time income, or what's your
Honestly,
plan? Hmm.
I would totally do that if I can pull it off.
Right.
I really enjoy it. I really like learning. I really don't like what's become of my field. It's not as much patient centered anymore. It's all,
Right.
insurance and minutes and, 99% productivity and, documentation. It's really lost the parts that I love. I
Hmm.
probably would stick to doing home care still, because they pay really well for a 30-minute session, and I only take cases near my house. So,
Right. Right.
if I could be out of my house for 45 minutes and still have that feeling to like what's close to my heart with, helping people, especially medically fragile people, it feels nice, and it's something that I'm good at and I enjoy doing when it's not in the more demanding and
Yeah.
impersonal setting. So,
Yeah.
I think I would always do it a little bit, but I would like to get away from it in general. It's changed a lot.
Yeah. That's what I love about trading though, is you can slowly transition to it. You can try and, get your capital up and learn all the strategies that fit you best. And it seems like
Yeah,
you're well on your way to doing that from what I've seen. So it seems like StockGeeks has played a huge role in
absolutely.
that. So apart from
Such a big role.
StockGeeks, apart from StockGeeks, and of course
Yeah.
our Discord, what other resources are you a big fan of? Have you got any particular YouTube channels or anything that you think is
I really like the guy in The Money. I'm gonna start rewatching some of his now that I'm like trying options.
okay?
He
Sounds
he explains things like very well, I think, in an easy way to understand. And I've been watching like the Zip Trader videos now. I actually like how he speaks too. He speaks, in a way that I can understand it. He shows, videos of what he's talking about as he's talking. Um, I actually started listening to some of the podcasts that Sean had put up. Those have
mhm.
been awesome too. I'm definitely getting way more interested in like the psychology of trading, because I have a
Yeah,
psychology background too.
right, right,
Um, so that the ones that I watched were kind of eye opening. I was like,
yeah,
this is cool. This is different. This is a good
good,
way
good.
to keep your mind in control, because obviously everybody gets emotions. Like you
Yeah,
can, dim them down a little bit when you're more aware of it. It's less upsetting when you lose and it's less exciting when you win, if you kind of like rein in that part. But I definitely plan on looking more into that.
cool.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounds great, and I'll put a link in the
And your
description.
videos, duh.
My videos, yeah. I'll put a link
Yeah, they're
in the
perfect.
description to some of those resources for people though to check out, and hopefully that'll help other people too. But I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover here. I think. Do you have anything else to add, or you feel like there's anything else people should know about your experience trading or stock geeks in general or
I
anything
think
else?
really all I would say is that for new traders, like just to give it time. Like every time you think you understand something, every time you think you have a plan and a good idea, like things are going to change a little bit. So don't get so frustrated if you lose a little bit, or if
Yeah,
it didn't go your way, or
yeah,
you were expecting something and something else happened, because it happens to people who have been doing it their whole life. You can't
right.
not get a losing trade, and you can't not make the wrong choice. And
Right. Yeah.
I would say when those things happen, to just try again. And also in the beginning, I knew that I felt very much like I was going to miss something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this one hit 200%. This one hit 400%. Oh my God, how did
Yeah.
I not see that? And then now I'm realizing it happens every day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
happens every day.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity every day. So don't chase something because of that. And just, ask for help. There's so many, not everyone's nice, not everyone's helpful, but there are a lot of people, that will
Yeah.
help. So
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think I totally agree, and I think people just need to chill out and slow down and learn more, use less money for trading, and make sure they can make money with $1,000 before trying it with 100,000.
exactly.
And personally, I don't really chase these big 50%, 100% movers. I probably should, and I've had some success in the past doing that, but I've kind of gone away from that because it's just not my style. These big wins and big losses is like,
Yeah.
but I can see why it is attractive to a lot of people, and some, especially if you're on it early. I know you get up pretty early and get on things pre-market or this
Yeah.
squawk and stuff, the trading from the news. Like, yeah. So, well, I think that's pretty much everything I've got to say, and it sounds like that you're getting on really well with StockGeeks, and hopefully we can continue to trade in our Discord as well, and continue to go forward and make some money as a.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all, growing together in different ways. So I think that's really nice and exciting. And, I'm happy to be part of everything that's going on with them and with us. And, I don't see
Fantastic.
any downside to different
Yeah.
groups of people who just really want to help. So I'm happy
Yeah.
to be part of everything.
All right. Well, thank you very much for doing this interview. You're the first one of hopefully many,
Oh,
many subscribers to different stock alert services, and trying to get the message out of, real people talking. You can tell if somebody's some sort of fake, or, like, because I know there's so
yeah.
much accusations of this. A day doesn't go by but without me getting some sort of comment somewhere going, this is a scam, or this person's a paid shill for blah, blah. And it's just, I think this is going to be really helpful for people to hear about these different stock
But you're
alert
saying you're not a
services.
servant for Raging
No,
Bull?
no, I'm not a servant for
No?
radio, unfortunately. No,
Oh,
I
man.
think, and I'm not Jason Bond or Jeff Bishop in disguise either. I've had that one
In
too.
disguise.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, my
Um,
God.
so I'm hoping that's obvious, but I don't know some of these
Yeah, do you know
people.
what? To the people who really matter, it is.
Yeah,
So all the haters can just say what they want. And then people
yeah,
who see the value in it and, respect you and everybody else's, opinion and how to help, I think it'll be pretty obvious to people who actually
yeah.
matter.
Well, thanks very much for talking, and I'll catch up with you again in the Discord probably later on tonight. So I'll leave
Yes,
links
sir.
to it. Yeah, I'll leave links in the description where this is posted on YouTube and probably on my blog as well. And hopefully it'll help people discover a new alert service. It seems to offer high value for a nice low cost, and I think
Yeah, and they have the 3-day free trial, I guess, just to add. So even if you just come
yeah.
in to check it out, there's no harm in
Yeah,
that. So
I'll put a link in the description for people that want to go and check that out. So good.
perfect.
All right, Marion. Well, thanks for your time, and let's chat later on.
All right. Thank you too, Russell.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.